Hey guys, welcome back. I am bringing to you a 2022-2023 scheduling video. I am currently sitting at my desk and I am working on the upcoming school schedule for us with all the details that I'm going to give you that. One thing is I am a reverse planner. What that means is I simply write down what we have completed at the end of the day instead of writing down what I would like for us to complete at the beginning of the day. It just works better for me. I did try it the other way, but I found myself really frustrated with myself in that feeling like I was a failure because we didn't complete what I had set out for us to do that day. So I scrapped that type of planning about 3 or 4 years ago, and now we are reverse planners. I'm sitting here doing it right now. I'm gonna show you all the chicken scratch that comes along with this and everything else. The first thing that I do is write down all of the subjects that my girls will be doing that is specifically for them. And then I write down all of the subjects that we do as a family. So let me show you what that looks like. Please don't judge me. I also have some other notes on here as well. Here is what that looks like. I have written down everything that each one of my daughters will be doing that is separate. And I also go and I write down our family subjects as well. That is the first step. I'm a visual person. I really don't care for paper that much, but when I am planning, I want paper because it helps me to be able to see it. So that's what I've done. That is my first step in the planning process. After I have completed that, I take a look at our schedule. I was able to download this awesome calendar that is a year-round plan. Hopefully you can see that. But I downloaded it free from a mama here on YouTube. If you've seen this planner and you know who this mother is, please let me know so that I can give her all of the credit that is due for this. But I love this planner because this year-round plan, because it goes from July all the way until June, which is great. A lot of them you will see the year-round and it's January of 2022 until December of 2022. Well, that doesn't help me finish out my school year. So I really like that this homeschool mama came up with this one, and this is what I decided to use this year. I love it. Now here is my edited version of that. What I have done here is what you see in red. I have marked off days that we will be out. I decided that we are going to take 2 Fridays off every month. Last school year, we did every Friday off, and I felt that it was just a little much taking off every Friday and taking off weeks sporadically throughout the school year. It just didn't work for us to do that. We enjoyed our Fridays and having that time off, of course, but it didn't work realistically for us completing our work and being on schedule along with the other times that we needed to take off. So we're gonna do 2 Fridays a month this year. It may be every other Friday, it might be 2 Fridays in a row. It all just depends, but what I've done on this schedule is basically that. I have marked off, these are Fridays that I know. Maybe we're going out of town. Maybe we have a volleyball tournament. All of those things I have marked off a couple of Fridays, with the exception of August. I did not mark off any Fridays in August. We will just be getting started. But what I did up here, you'll see this purple. This is a circle. That is our first day of school. And then I have our last day of the official school year. Now we do homeschool year round. However, I do try to keep us within a certain time frame so that I know, okay, this is summertime, lighten up our schedule, go into summer mode. But as you guys have seen, if you followed along, my oldest daughter is still working on her Saxon Math 5-4. She is finishing it up. She will finish it before we start our first day of school, but she's still working on it. She broke her finger at the beginning of this year. We did not do Saxon Math for about a month and a half. We're making up that time right now. But I wanted to kind of keep us in a guide of where we should be, so to speak, when we are working on certain curriculum. Because math and language arts we do year round, unless it's necessary for my child to understand it. I don't want to carry over a 4th grade math into our 5th grade year or 5th grade into 6th grade unless it's necessary for comprehension purposes. If it's not necessary for comprehension purposes, I don't want that to happen. But there are other things that we just kind of flow with and allow it to go. Geography, history, science, art, all of those things, even our writing strands, we do not have like a hard stop to where we transition with those specific subjects. Okay, back to my calendar. So that is the red that you will see. Those are days that we are taking off. As you can see, in December, we are taking 2 weeks off, the first week of January off. We also have the week of Thanksgiving off in November. We have the week of April. This is usually when we are traveling, or we will take our spring break here in April, and a couple of days off here. Just random days. Now, this does not account for sick days or any other types of issues that may come up, and those things happen, and we have to be prepared for them and flexible within our schedule. So this is not in stone. It's an erasable pen, okay? So also here at the top, these are the blue circles you will see are the start and stop for my girls' electives. They will be doing 9-week electives, so I just wrote that out and did a start and a stop for their first 9 weeks, second, third, and fourth 9 weeks electives. You will see that these electives run through specific holidays. Like here is a start for one, and then we have a stop here. Did I do that right? This is a stop, okay, for one of our electives. And I've just written it out this way, but they will continue their electives through the holidays. I think that's a really good way for them to just keep doing something that they like. All of their electives was something that they chose themselves. So I don't want to cut them off and say, oh, it's a holiday week, you can't do your electives. That's like the perfect time for them to do them. So as you can see, we're going through Christmas, we're doing electives, going through the holidays and doing electives. So that is what those days are. So we have our first 9 weeks is going from, we will not start our electives until August the 29th, and it will go through October the 28th. They will start the next one October 31st, and it will go all the way through December 30th. Their next elective will start January 9th, and it will go all the way through March 10th. And then I skipped one, guys. Oh, so I'm guessing that they will start their next one. I messed up. They will start their next one on the 13th of March, and then they will go all the way through until the 19th of May. Let me count that because I think I messed up. I skipped a week. Let me grab my pens. See, I have all my pens right here. So I did skip a week in March. There we go. That fixes that. So they will start their next one on March 20th, and then they will go all the way through until May the 19th. Those are their electives that they will be doing throughout the year. Now, if you can see it, I have a yellow here. Yellow is days that we take off. Maybe someone gets sick. We have to go out of town. I don't know. We just wake up and it's a bad day. When those days come, I will put an X on here, and then I will make adjustments if necessary to our other days off. This is just a guide, simply a guide, and that is it. I want to kind of keep us within that framework. I have tried several times to just be super free-flowing with it, but it turns into chaos in our home, and I am not able to function. There's one of me, 3 of my children. We need a guide that we can kind of say, okay, let's get us back on track. This is how this is gonna work, and this is our guide. As for planning out specific curriculum, I do not go and say, we're gonna do 5, 6, 7 lessons, however it goes. We just simply work on a specific subject every day of the week. I'm gonna show you that on my computer. This year, I made up a chart, and I want my girls to be responsible for marking off when they have completed that subject for the specific day. It does create a little bit more work on my part. However, I found that at the end of the day, I was constantly saying, did you finish this? Did you finish that? Have you checked this? Have you checked that? And I want them to take responsibility for that. We did try to do planners for them, but it just didn't work out. I think they're still a little bit young for planners. So we're gonna just kind of step into this slowly, and then they can take over their planners hopefully next year. We'll see how it goes. Here is what I have been working on, and I set it up in 2-week increments. The reason being is because we're gonna do every other Friday potentially off, and I want them to remember which Friday they worked on a certain subject. So for my daughter, she has her individual Bible time that she will do, her Saxon math, daily grams, easy grammar. Those are all things that will be done every single day. There is also spelling, and what I have done is starred independent subjects. These are things that my girls do not need my help with. They may or may not have a question, but they don't need me to get started, to complete it, to research it, to grade it. Typically, they don't need any help with it at all. Those subjects are spelling, wordly wise, handwriting, and then their individual reading time. They can do all of those things on their own. They don't need mama. And then Literature studies for my oldest daughter. We are only going to do literature studies on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. No Tuesday and no Fridays. Our literature studies, we're going at that, flowing it with it how we want to. And there are, I believe in the first literature study that she will be doing, there are 13 lessons. It may take us a week or a week and a half to do one lesson. That will take us the first semester, and I'm fine with that. There's no rush in doing the literature studies. It's her grasping the concept, understanding how to do it, and enjoying a great book to read. So I blacked out the days that she will do literature study. Also down here at the bottom, I explained to her how she's supposed to do things like Wordly Wise. In the past, we've done our Wordly Wise curriculum every single day, and they took a test on Friday. I feel that they need just a little bit more time, like one day where they simply study the words and don't do an exercise. And then they will spread out the exercises over the next 5 to 6 days. They will have another day where they study, and then they will take their test. I believe that this is going to work out really good for them and stretch it out. There are only 20 lessons within the 4th and 5th grade level Wordly Wise books. So if they're doing one lesson a week, 20 weeks, and they're done with it. We're going to stretch ours out over a week and a half to 2 weeks. So that will give them 40 weeks. So that will be their vocabulary for the school year. And I'm perfectly fine with that, because then I don't have to worry about trying to find another vocabulary curriculum for them when they're done with that one. I've given her instructions as to what she needs to do for Wordly Wise and on the specific day. So it will be about 8 days. The next thing is her individual reading will be 20 to 30 minutes. And then independent study are the ones that are starred. My big girls do their independent study while I'm working with my 5-year-old. So I can give her the attention that I need. I know that they're working on something that they don't need my help with. And once I'm done with her, they move on to things that they do need help with. Grammar, math, literature studies, things like that. I have done the same thing for my 4th grader. The only difference is because she's changing math curriculums, I'm not really sure what the levels will look like for her. I have set a time frame for her. She will do her Horizons math for 30 minutes every day until we get to lessons where new concepts are being introduced that she needs help with, or something that she needs reinforced from her previous curriculum, which was teaching textbooks. I have these timers and the girls use these. She will have her own timer. We will set it for 30 minutes and I will just allow her to work on those worksheets. It is simply a worksheets portion of it. I know the first 5 lessons, she does not need my help with it at all. So I will just allow her to sit down and work on it for 30 minutes a day until we get to lesson 6, and then we'll kind of reevaluate that. Then I can better plan out kind of what the rest of our year is going to look like. So that is how I'm going to do things for her when it comes to her math. As far as her Winston grammar, this is a new grammar that she will be using. She will definitely need my help, and we will work through that slowly. Same thing for her, starred on her independent subjects, blacked out for her daily composition. She uses a daily composition notebook, workbook that I found at the Half Price bookstore. You simply read a passage and it goes through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I will just have her work on those. They're very short, but it is working for her. It's exactly what she needs for comp. She will also not do reading comp on Tuesdays and Fridays. The same, my daughter will not do literature studies on Tuesdays and Fridays as well. I put instructions down here for her Wordly Wise as well. I also put instructions for her Horizons math and individual reading time. When I move on to family subjects, this is what our family subjects looks like. Oh, I'm gonna go back because I also put dates at the top here because I want them to know what 2-week time frame we're working with, and it just brings clarity. So every 2 weeks I will go in and I will change these dates. As I said before, it does create a little bit more work for me, but at the end I believe that it's going to be really beneficial for my girls developing their independence and having a little less questions for me about what day is it, what should I do this day, when should I do it. This is helping grow their independence. Now, I'm not forcing them into it, but they definitely have to learn how to be able to navigate those things. And since we're changing things up, I want to provide them with as much information as I can so that they don't have a whole lot of questions. It just brings clarity. I need clarity in things that I'm doing, and I know that they will too. So that's why I have dates here, and I will just change those dates as we go along. They will be responsible for putting an X in there, or probably a check mark, because that means that it's done. A check mark in each of the boxes for every day. If it's not shaded in, they know that they need to complete it for that day. I did the same thing for our family subjects. So we have Bible time, writing strands, U.S. history, science, geography, art, and Spanish. And I'm going to share with you guys what we will be doing for Spanish.
U.S. history, science, geography, art is.
Do you hear that? I'm going to share with you guys what we'll be using for Spanish. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I found what I feel like is an absolute gem and have really been on a hunt for a Spanish curriculum. I'm excited to share it. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. But for what we're going to be doing for Spanish, our art curriculum is only on Fridays. There are 18 lessons. We're going to do one lesson every single week, even on the Fridays that we are off, because art is like fun. You know, you're drawing, creating things. You can do that. That's like our fun Fridays that we had last year, except for it will be 2 Fridays a month. So we're still going to do art on Fridays, every Friday. Our U.S. history, we will not do on Tuesdays. Also, I want you to pay attention if you can see it. U.S. history, 30 minutes a day, hard stop. Timer, when the 30 minutes is up, we're done. We're stopping. I will not push us to try to finish a lesson or anything in a specific time frame. I did that last year when we started our history, and I felt so overwhelmed. My girls felt really forced into doing it. We're just gonna spend 30 minutes and we're gonna move at our own pace, and I'm really, really excited about it and the things that I have put together to make it all come together. Geography, same thing, hard stop at 20 minutes. We do not have to work on it all day long. There are some really great fun parts about it, and of course, we'll want to keep going with the fun parts, but our family subjects like geography and U.S. history will more than likely happen after lunch, during and after lunch. If we're doing a read aloud and I can find it audio, like on YouTube, or audiobook from our library, we will listen to it while we eat lunch, and we'll do whatever activities that require hands-on things after we finish eating. So U.S. history, geography, writing strands, those are all timed, 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes per day when we're doing them. That is it. In our geography, we are doing a travel the states. Make sure you subscribe, because that video is coming out. I'm going to show you all of the fun activities that we are going to be using, but travel the states is something where we will do one state per week. Yes, there are 50 states. It will take us all year long to do it, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just stretching it out and having fun with it and not making it a forced thing. Do you have to learn all 50 states in 36 weeks? I don't think so. So that's how we're going to do our family subject. My youngest daughter is 5, and she also has foundations, which I'm actually working on right now. She is going to do Logic of English Foundations A. She will also be doing Saxon Math K. We also have Saxon Math 1. But for her Saxon Math, we're going to do 30 minutes a day, because I have gone through the lessons, and the first like 10 or 12 lessons is super short for her. She will breeze right through it. So I think if we set that time frame, then we may be able to get 3 lessons done in that 30 minutes. Who knows? But I'm going to set a time frame first. And then once we get to new concepts for her, or I see that we're starting to slow down, we will slow down and stop to 1 lesson per day, unless we even need to go slower than that. That's my plan, starting out with her with foundations as well as her math, because in foundations, it starts out with learning the letter sounds and what the letters look like. She already knows all of that. So I believe that we'll be able to go through that faster as well. So I put that here, Saxon Math, 30 minutes daily, foundations 30 minutes, and then reading for 20 minutes a day. Part of her reading for 20 minutes a day will not include our U.S. history and government, things like that, read alouds. These are specific books for her reading. I have some readers that I'm going to share with you guys too in the next couple of weeks of what we're going to be using to help her through phonics and reading. I'm really, really feeling so good about it. I feel so good about getting her into this. Really, really good. She also has cutting and handwriting. She will do 1 page a day for handwriting, and it may take her 2, maybe 3 minutes. We'll see how that goes. Also, there's a K-4-5 curriculum. You'll see that on here. I am going to use that. It is an extension of the Letter of the Week curriculum that she used the previous school year. I'm going to use that as an extension for her, in that if she's done with everything and we finished it off fairly quickly, those are things that she can do on her own to help reinforce some of the things that she will be learning in her phonics curriculum along with her math. And it's something that typically she can sit down at the table and do while I'm working with my other daughter. So it gives her something else to do. It keeps her busy and she's still learning. So I have that all prepared for her as well. And it has a lot of the hands-on activities that she really, really enjoys. As far as in my planner, I'm hoping you can see this, but here are the things that I do in my planner. Right here, and I use the Peaceful Planner, and this is by Wendy over at Plan Prep Pray. If you're interested in grabbing her planner, I have used this planner now for 1.5 years, I believe it is. I love it. I set it up how I want. I add my own little tabs. I spiral it for me. It's been awesome. But what I do for the girls, I told you guys that I use my color pencils or pens here. And what I do is, this is what a week of their schoolwork would look like. And I haven't filled it out just yet. I would put the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I do still put Saturday. Sometimes my girls want to do things on Saturdays and I'm fine with that, but typically we don't. And then over here, I put the subject, whatever that is. Each one of my daughters has a specific color and I put that color here. So Brenna's color is usually red, Magdalene's is orange, and Mallory's is pink. All of us is usually green or blue, other colors that I go with. And it's for me, because my favorite color is purple, I write all of the headers and things on the sides in purple. And each day, if this is language arts, I would say Maggie, I would write in her color, Easy Grammar, Lesson 1, Daily Grams, worksheet number 1. If this is math, Brenna would be in red and it would say Saxon 6-5, lesson 1, and whatever she did for that assignment. This helps me to keep track of what we have done. I do this at the end of the day. And my girls are still responsible for checking their work. When they check it, if they've gotten it wrong, we go over it. I go over it one-on-one with them to make sure that they understand why they got it wrong and write down and work it out correctly. I say work it out because that's math. It's typically where we do that, but they also check their grammar. They check their own work. I check it behind them. I think that brings on a sense of independence. It also helps them with learning the information. If they can check it and say, oh, I got this wrong, then they have to go to the answer and work it out or figure out why they got it wrong. It helps with them better understanding and grasping those concepts. This is what I write on, and this stays with me. I will print this out and it will go on our whiteboard, which is over here. The girls will mark it off and I will keep a record of this in our records system. I do not go through and say lesson here, lesson there. We make adjustments, but that is what has worked for us for the last couple of years. And I'm really glad about adding in this additional piece just to provide that independence for my girls. If you want to know more about how our school year is going to go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out some of these videos.